Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. My headline, I'll admit to you, a little bit tricky. You're probably thinking, wow, some great, in all caps, news in the weather world. You're thinking, wow, 50s, a bunch of days of sunny skies. We're going to get our leaves removed from the yard, all that stuff. No. It's actually a little bit something a little more important for the big picture. And what it is I don't know the full details exactly just yet, but I started seeing a lot of tweets from other meteorologists that I follow that say the European Weather Center has loosened up the restrictions on sharing the European model content. And that's the great news. I talked to the company meteorologist that gathers my data and puts it on maps, the maps that you see. That's weathermodels.com. Dr. Ryan Maui does a great job. He's actually from Manistee. He said, yeah, we can freely share the European stuff now. So here it is. And yeah, I know you're probably thinking again, 40s and 50s. Actually, now that I get to show you the European today, you'll see why I'm concerned that we don't get a major warm-up. Although things still point toward it, but they keep getting delayed and delayed, and if they get delayed too much, you know what happens. Wah, 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 wah. If we get the major warm-up in late December, it won't be all that major. All right, so let's get to it. Radar, this still from the good old US of A, and nothing going on as far as radar today. All right, now this is the European, okay? This is the European Center Medium Range Weather Forecast model. We couldn't show this to you before. It's the same output. It's the same squiggly lines and stuff that you'll see from the American model and all the other models. It's just better solutions, better forecasts in many ways, especially several days out and into next week, and I'll show you that. So what you're looking at is you're looking at the surface pressure lines in black. You're looking at basically surface temperatures, so to speak. The blues would be cold enough for snow and then colder, and then, hey, Brian Swy. Hey, thank you very much. And then warmer temperatures in the reds. So this is what we can use to see if there's any more snows coming. We are into Saturday afternoon here, and there's a big storm forming along the East Coast. Nothing going on for us, just still on the chilly side. Here's a warm bubble, okay? See this, how the warm air on a south wind is coming up into Canada? That's a warm bubble. But look, on Sunday, it tries to get toward us, and we do get above the freezing mark. So this is slightly warmer air, but it's not a great warm-up. And then this is where I like the European. When you get out to 4 or 5 days out, it seems to handle the storms. This is next Monday. It kind of collapses this weak little precipitation system, and then here's that major storm out along the East Coast. But what you'll notice the European doing is building cold air, and every one of these storms kind of slides down and reinforces the cold. And I still feel like one of the main reasons is this big blob of warm air out over the Pacific Ocean. It drives the jet stream north, and then the compensating bend southward over us. Okay, so we go into Tuesday of next week. We're trying to get that warmer air in, but see these disturbances just keep coming in and knocking them down. Hey, good morning, Kurt Glupker. Hey, hello, Rhonda Waters from Cocoa Beach, Florida. And, all right, so watch this one. This is Wednesday of next week, and we're trying to get a warming trend, but the cold air and a cold front is right here, squashes it down, and uh-oh, this has signs of something very similar to what we went through on Veterans Day. That's a snow system, an accumulating snow system by late next week, and that is far out in the European, is not God. It can be off when we get out that far, but we'll just keep and watch that trend and see if it's actually coming. And we get out to 10 days, and it wants to keep funneling the cold air down in. That's why, my friends, I am getting somewhat concerned about any 2 or 3 week 35 to 45 degree stretch in Michigan. Might not be happening, and if it does, it's probably in December, and chances get less and less at that point. High temperatures today, we will crack the freezing mark. Maybe 35 will feel warm. That's going to be a common temperature around 37 in Grand Rapids, 36 in Detroit, 35 elsewhere. Vicki Hadcroft, should we forget about fall cleanup this year? I think you're going to have to find that one particular day and get it done. You're not going to have it's warmed up, I'll get to it in the next week or so. No, it's going to be like hey, next Monday afternoon. David Mayers, you missed. Sorry, some people are just joining, maybe seeing the headline blurb. It was, I'll admit, a little bit of a trick. You probably do think that I'm talking about great news and weather, but what I've mentioned is that the European Weather Center, which is somewhat equivalent to our weather service, it's more of a conglomerate of the European countries. They've now relaxed their restrictions on us sharing the European model data. So, lately you've been hearing me say, well, the GFS got upgraded and it's not that good. It shows this, but really what's going to happen is this from the European. Now I can show you the European model, okay? Model output. Now this is tomorrow. It's cold. The football game is going to have cold weather. I'm working on that right now. And good morning, Don Beard, Jason Gower. How many blizzards this year? Well, blizzards, it's hard to have more than one a year, so let's call it one, okay? This is Sunday, 35-ish. This is Monday, 36 to 38-ish. And Tuesday, 38-ish. Wednesday, 40. Thursday, 40. So we will get to 40 degrees in the southern half of Lower Michigan again. There will be melting. But my point being is, I don't think it's going to be a real long period. It's probably going to be for a day or two, and then knocked back down in 30s, maybe another day or two, knocked back down in 30s, and then at some point, it's going to be done. So there's your forecast. The day-to-day weather here in the next 4 or 5 days, really quite quiet. No major travel problems if you're going to be going out anywhere. You just need the winter coat because it will feel like winter, especially in the morning hours. Hey, good morning, Nicholas Brown. Are we going to be able to get some leaves cleaned up near Grand Rapids early next week? If it all melts, we're having marginal melting. We're going to be down into the teens and 20s in the morning, up to 36, 38, 40 degrees by afternoon. So you only get maybe 6 hours of melting. But it should help. Even I noticed yesterday, even at 33, 34 degrees, everything was getting kind of a little bit mushy. Next Thursday, Friday, heading to hail from Kalamazoo, Eric Suzuki. That's still quite a ways out, but that is when that European shows that next more significant moisture from the south and cold from the north kind of coming. So keep an eye on that. We'll keep you updated. Ask maybe again Monday or Tuesday of next week. There you have it. There's the weather forecast. It's the weekend. Thank you for joining me this week. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great weekend.